Hey everyone, Shelby here from Designer Tool Belt. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to install an undermount sink and hardware. Go ahead and click the subscribe button for more tips, tricks, and videos on how to turn yourself into the ultimate DIYer. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the project.
To ensure that we get great adhesion, we're going to clean the underside of the concrete countertop where the sink would adhere to the bottom, as well as the perimeter inside so that our masking tape will adhere to the surround of the sink opening. Next, we'll install the hardware for the sink, as it'll be almost impossible to access it after the sink is installed. So right now it's very easy for us to put it in. Ensure that you get at least 3 turns on the nut at the bottom to make sure that the sink hardware itself stays in place in the future. Once you've gotten the hardware with 3 turns on the nut, you can do a 1/4 turn of the faucet itself to center it on the sink. And then we will go ahead and install the supply hoses, as those will be very difficult to do at a later time once the sink itself is installed as well. Use a wrench to get a good tightening on the hoses to the hardware. After the hoses are attached to the hardware, go from the underside and attach the supply hoses to the actual water supply. Remove the aerator from the faucet hardware. Turn on the faucet to ensure that it is leak-free. Now that the faucet is installed, we'll begin masking the opening of the sink in preparation for caulking and install. Ensure that the entire perimeter is masked at the bottom of the opening. The masking itself is very important, as the silicone caulking that we will be using for the install of the undermount sink can get quite messy. So this will prevent any mess and any unnecessary cleanup. You'll want to be very meticulous about getting it all the way at the bottom of that opening and all the way around the entire perimeter. Now that the perimeter of the sink opening is masked, we are going to begin masking the inside perimeter of the sink itself. Again, be very meticulous on this masking and press it down to get firm adhesion. And this is going to prevent any unnecessary cleaning of your new stainless steel sink. Once you've got the masking all the way around, just double check that it's a quality job and press it on firmly so that there's no leakage of silicone. Now that we are about to install the sink, go ahead and flush out the faucet one more time to get all the dirt, debris, rocks, whatever was in the line out. Make sure that you do this with the aerator off, because the aerator will get clogged with all of the debris. So we want to make sure that the aerator is off and let it flow until it's 100% clear. Once it's 100% clear, turn the faucet off and then reinstall the aerator on the end. Now that the aerator is installed, we'll begin prepping the sink for install. Use silicone caulking that is 100% silicone, mildew resistant, and exterior grade for best results and best adhesion. Go around the perimeter of the lip a couple times. That's why the masking is so important, because now we can use excess amount of caulking for maximum adhesion without worrying about unneeded cleanup. Now that the caulking is on the lip of the sink, we'll put the sink underneath and get ready to raise it up into place. Use a couple boards across the top. These are going to come in handy for clamping the drain hole of the sink up and tightening it into place. This is part of the project where you might want to have a helping hand. So if you have somebody who can help you out here, one person can hold the sink at the bottom while you put the clamp through the drain hole and clamp it to the wood. Once you have the sink in place, you have your clamps up top from drain hole to wood and continue to crank slowly and get it into place so that it seals. Ensure that you don't over tighten it. Depending upon the gauge of stainless steel that the sink is, you can actually distort the drain hole by cranking this too much. So we just want to get it all the way up to the underside there where it'll stay secure to dry overnight. Most caulkings will be 100% cured in 24 to 72 hours. So depending upon the one that you got, will determine when you can take the clamps off. So just gently remove the clamps and get ready to install the drain on this new sink. Once the clamps are removed, we'll install the drain. If it came with a foam gasket, use the foam gasket up against the top of the sink, and then the underside will get the rubber gasket. If it didn't come with a foam gasket, use plumber's putty to seal the drain to the sink itself.
All right. Well, that's a wrap on the project. Let's get a before and after and see what it costs us.
All right, here we have our sink opening and our new stainless steel sink. And there it is installed with nothing more than silicone caulking to adhere it to the bottom. And the entire project, $110.